the tour. We're walking to the Abbey now, and we're going to try and avoid the road, so we're going round the tour. I'm also taking my drone with me. I'm rather hoping that when we get to the Abbey, the grounds there are evidently quite expansive. I'm hoping to be able to fly it there. In some of these shots coming up, I've used the drone as a camera platform. So let me know if you think it's a good shot.
Yeah, I said to Graham, it doesn't feel easier than yesterday. And he says it won't because your muscles are more tired. I think he's right.
Takes months to build up stamina.
Months to build up stamina. No chance. Oh, there's that little seat again. Most welcome.
I'm having that.
Go on then. There you go. And relax. Oh, that's nice.
We do have to be a bit careful here because Ellie's balance and poor peripheral vision makes it quite hard for her. Mountaineering professionals.
I don't think so.
This is the Abbey grounds, so still quite a way to walk. For the final bit of the walk we had to go alongside the road, but there were some lovely houses and that to look at. Many of them create these little scenes in their windows.
So we're at Glastonbury Abbey. We're not even sure if you can let dogs in, if they let dogs in, but we'll just have a little walk up here and see what we can see. So I hope you can see the pictures behind the very attractive rail. Nice and quiet up here. Glastonbury itself is really, really busy today, especially as it's a nice day. Shop. Plants. Oh, you can keep dogs on the lead. And a person must be on the other end.
Looking at the prices, we both decided we'd like to have a look round, especially as it included the museum as well, along with a guided tour from this lady. She was a really good guide.
And we stretched for miles and miles, which we'll discover as we go around the Abbey. But as you walk around the ruins today, just imagine that what you're looking at would have looked like this. And we probably wouldn't have been standing in the museum today. We'd have been slap banging on the middle of one of the chapter houses.
St Patrick's Chapel was completed in 1517. It's a site of pilgrimage and dedicated to him because it's close to a possible site of his burial. It's a Grade II listed building. Born in the 4th century, St Patrick is shown both in the stained glass window behind the altar where he is standing on a snake, and also on one wall with his wolfhound. I'm liking that bit. Weekly services are still held here, and it's been witness to 500 years of Christian worship. When Joseph of Arimathea arrived in Britain, it's said that he landed on the island of Avalon, aka Glastonbury. Apparently exhausted, he stuck his staff into the ground and had a rest. In the morning, his staff had taken root and grown into a miraculous thorn tree that bloomed twice a year, which is quite unusual. Each year, our Queen is sent a budded branch at Christmas from this special tree in Glastonbury Abbey. The Lady Chapel has a position that is unique to Glastonbury Abbey. It's at the west end of the church, rather than at the usual north end. This position was to preserve an old wooden church reported to be of 1st century origin and apparently the first monastic building on the site. Sadly, it burned down in 1184. The chapel has many ornate and intricate carvings which still survive. Below ground is the crypt chapel of St Joseph of Arimathea. It's said to have healing powers, as is the well which can also be found in the crypt. And this is the well.
Stick or the body part until it melted. The novice monks would have scraped it all off the floor and sent it back to get remoulded. We know from excavations that they were fantastic at recycling things. You'd have been given some more holy water to take on your way and you'd have gone back up.
The Abbot's kitchen is one of the finest surviving examples of medieval kitchens in the whole of Europe. Each of the corner fireplaces had a different function, and there's a gallery which spans the back of the kitchen, and that used to enable the head cook to survey the workers. Traces of food have been found below the ground, and they gave us an idea of what was in a medieval diet, namely meat, fish, fruit, vegetables, and a few rare spices. It is said that King Arthur and his wife Guinevere are laid to rest within the ruins of the abbey. Legend says that in 1191, monks at the abbey discovered a hollow log with 2 bodies in it, and there was an inscription suggesting it was Arthur and Guinevere.
In Latin, and it said, "Here lies Arthur with his second wife Guinevere in the Isle of Avalon." Well, of course, they were jumping for joy. They discovered the legendary King Arthur right on their doorstep, so they sent a proclamation out to the known world. And of course,
the bodies were reinterred into a black marble tomb in 1278. King Henry VIII had the abbey and tomb destroyed in the 16th century, but modern archaeologists have been able to pinpoint the tomb's location. As to whether it's authentic remains a 1,000-year-old myth. The Great Church, i.e. Glastonbury Abbey, was founded in the 8th century and enlarged further in the 10th century. Destroyed by fire, it was rebuilt, and by the 14th century it was one of the richest and most powerful monasteries in England. The abbey controlled much of the surrounding land and created major drainage projects on the Somerset levels. It was all-embracing. It welcomed those of all faiths and those of none. In 1539, Henry VIII had the abbey all but destroyed. Its assets were stripped. And also in 1539, the last abbot, Richard Whiting, was hanged as a traitor on Glastonbury Tor on the 15th of the 11th, 1539. This is all that remains of the high altar. It's now a bed of grass and daisies. Beautiful. Before the abbey was all but destroyed, it would have had a tiled floor similar to this. Here are some of the few tiles that remain.
We both found the tour absolutely absorbing. It was really, really good, and it cost no extra for the entrance fee. We next had a look around the museum. Here's a few examples of some of the things that are in there. Well, Henry VIII has got a lot to answer for, I think, just so he could marry again and again and again. Well, it's been a very long day, so we thought we'd find ourselves a little cafe and have a nice cup of coffee and reward ourselves with a nice piece of cake. Next time we'll have a look round Glastonbury town a bit closer and we meet up with some of our subscribers.